Okay, we're ready to start lacing everything up. This is my lace. It's my lacing needle. It's got threads in the back side there. We're going to thread actually the lace right into that. And I'll show you how that works. What we're basically going to do is cut our lace at an angle. And we cut it again. So we're basically trying to get a fine point on our lace. And we're going to take that little point and just basically twist it on. So we've got a good grip on it, so you tug on it and it won't come loose. Now what I want to do is I want to lace this whole thing. I'll lace this whole thing up and around and around, putting on my belt, putting in my bottom, putting my rabbit fur on. And I want to do it all with one single strand of lace. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to start right about here and lace up and around and in my lace. And then I'm going to leave the spool attached so that I can then cut off the length I want and then lace down and around and finish my end here. So it'll be one continuous piece of lace holding the whole thing together. Now to measure my lace, I'm going to want to get 3 times the length of what I'm actually trying to lace. Once I got my length measured out, you see it's all still attached to the spool. I just tied a knot right about there just to let me know that that's the end of my line. And then I'm going to take out a couple of these nuts and bolts so I can get my hand down in there to work the lace back and forth. And now you can see there's that backing in there to reinforce. Starting from the inside, I'm going to find my hole where I want to start. I'm going to bring my needle up, bring it all the way up till my little knot I tied in there stops it. And I'm going to go across. Just going to keep twisting the lace to keep it straight. Then I'm going to go from the inside, I'm going to go from this hole to this hole. Bring it up. And then come back across and drop it down. That's going to give me my little cross pattern, and I'm just going to keep going. So my next one is going to come from this hole. Pop it up. Just like before, go over diagonally, turn it down. From the back side, go back to this hole. Just keep kind of twisting your lace to make sure it stays straight. And drop it down. And you can see the little crosshatch pattern starting to form, and that'll go all the way up. Alright, so I've laced up to this point. So at this point, I'm going to attach the shoulder strap. So it's going to go right there. So I'm going to lace that up and show that to you. So all I did was go across, under, back up, over, and then I came back up through this one and back down through that one to just kind of reinforce this area. And then I'll just continue right back here by coming from underneath and popping right through that hole. So that's where I'll pick up, continuing to lace the back side here. Right there. So again, I just did my normal lace from here to here, came underneath, came back up this hole, back down that hole, and the only thing that I did differently was across the bottom I went over, back up across the top, and back over to reinforce this area where there's going to be stress on the strap. Then when I came down through this hole, I just pop back up through this hole and I'll continue my lacing as I've been doing. Alright, so there's the lacing continued. Now we're at the top here, and something I'm doing differently with this one that I didn't do with mine is I'm adding rabbit fur around the top. This is my daughter's quiver, so I'm going to add some rabbit fur. Should help deaden the sound of the arrows as well. So what I did is I went ahead and punched my rabbit fur, and the way I did that was I simply, when the quiver was still flat, I just laid it out flat, face down. I put the rabbit fur skin side down, then I put the quiver buffed finish side down, and then I punched my holes and transferred them across to there. And so now, to attach the rabbit fur, I have my first hole right there, as you can see. So that hole is going to line up with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my lacing up through that first hole. And bring my rabbit fur around to the other hole. Come down. See, I got extra rabbit fur I need to trim off. So for now, I'm just going to cut that piece off. Cut that piece off so that they line up. And I'm just going to pull my lace tight. That's going to secure the top. So essentially at this stage, the rabbit fur is facing skin side out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lace, I'm just going to run it all the way around the top. Alright, you can see I measured out 3 times the distance and I'm just about dead on. So now the way you finish off this end is you run it back through your original hole where you started. And essentially the way you secure the end of this is a compression fit. You just go back down, go back about 2 laces, and pull your lacing through. So now your lacing is underneath those original laces. At this point, you're going to take your needle off, and what we're going to do is we're just going to push our lace down in between the leather, if we can hold on to it. And the leather itself is going to hold that lace in place. So we got to push down in there. That's how we finish off that end. Now all we're going to do with our rabbit fur is just fold it right over, stuff it in. There's our little rabbit fur cuff around the top. You can see, you don't see any thread or any seam or anything. It just makes a nice little cuff around the top. So there's a nice little rabbit fur cuff all the way around the top now. So now we got to go back down to this end. If you remember, we never detached our lace. It's still there. So all we're going to do now is just start lacing down this way and then do the bottom the same way we did the top. The only difference is going to be in the midpoint. I'm going to change direction so that we have the lace running one way coming here and running the other way going there. And I'll show you how that goes as soon as I get to that part. So I measured out my lace for the bottom, basically 3 times the distance I want to travel. 1, 2, 3. That should give me enough lace to finish off the bottom. And then again, like I said, I'll show you how I change direction on the lacing when I get to that part. Alright, so now it's time to insert the bottom plug. We're at the bottom of our quiver. So now we got to put the plug in. So I'd marked it earlier with the back. So the back corresponds to the lacing. That's just going to drop right in there. Then I'll just go do the same thing I did before and just wrap around like I did with the rabbit fur. Okay, we've laced around till we're at our center hole. As you can see, our laces are all running this way. So what we want to do is we want to change the direction of our lace. So we're going to go up between the 2 pieces of leather, and we're going to pop up out of that center hole As soon as we do that, it changes our direction. So the laces are now running opposite. So we have these laces running this way, now these laces will be running that way. That'll give it a nice symmetry. And between the plies, I'm just going to pull that through. And then come down under here between the plies again. And that'll give us our compression, the leather holding it in place through compression. Alright, so basically we're done. We've got our straps. So to finish off, I've marked the length of the shoulder strap to cut it, and marked the length of the waist strap to cut it, and mark the location of where the shoulder strap buckle will go. So I'm just going to cut these belts down, attach the shoulder strap buckle, punch the holes, and we'll be done. And then I'll show you the final product. Modeling her new quiver is my daughter Eden. Go ahead and turn. Move to your left a little bit. Right there. What do you think?
I like it. It's lovely.
Let me see you pull an arrow out of it. Nice. How's it feel?
Feels good. It's not tight or anything. It's nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how you make a back quiver. Good luck.